All right, hey everybody. This is my second attempt. I couldn't find scissors to cut the zip ties off this. So, this is the Rollarlo X12S, and thought I'd do an unbox and show you what you get. The transmitter itself is standard. It doesn't have the larger, lower, as far as the base to it. So it is the smaller transmitter. And it will need some AA batteries. That's the only thing it does need. It does come with a USB type charger along with, of course, the wing. And then you get the hex or the wheel nut wrench stickers. And it looks like some double-sided tape here with some zip ties. So I'm assuming you might be able to reposition some electronics inside. So at first glance, you have an aluminum chassis. Take the body off here. And the body pins are tethered, so that's nice to see. And the body's, typical Buggy body, but it's really nice. I like the color on the blue. So let's see. We do have a separate receiver in its own box, and they mounted the ESC up high, and it is fan cooled. The brushless motor is fin cooled, and it looks like we have a separate on off, and the motor is mounted to an aluminum block here, and you have room for adjustment as far as pinions go. So that's nice to see. What else? So it is a full aluminum chassis. All the bolts are countersunk. Of course, they're all flat and they're all hex. So that's nice to see. Your lower arms are definitely well made. For the size of this is fairly heavy. Your upper arms are going to be adjustable link type. So as far as breakage goes, I would say you're more apt to break the link type, but then again, I'd rather break these than, say, your diff housing or your towers. So you're going to have a weak point somewhere. So front and rear are adjustable. You do have sway bar, front and rear. You have side-mounted servo with a servo saver here. Your center link for your steering is plastic. Your hinge pins reinforced on the front, both sides. The rear is going to be a plastic. The drive shafts are CVD dog bone in the front, and then we have dog bone in the rear. And these are hardened steel shafts, a little on the smaller side, but then again, this is, a smaller RC, so I don't mind seeing that. The compound, as far as in the tires, you have a low profile tire, where this is a Buggy. The foam is, I'd say, a medium, and the compound is medium soft. And then your shocks, you have fully adjustable aluminum. They are oil filled. They did a decent job. There's a little room for improvement as far as how they filled these. There's a little bit of air in the fronts, but it's pretty good right out of the box. You do have protectors, and these are threaded bodies, so you do have, what I would say, you do have adjustment on there. Full bearings throughout, of course. Your center shaft is a upgraded center shaft. It's not a soft steel, it is a hardened steel center, and you do have a slipper here. So your chassis, as far as the sides go, plastic. It does come with a battery. I'm assuming this is a 3S. Just check, make sure. what you get. And you do get a 2200 milliamp hour, and it is 3S. So out of the box, this thing is going to be, I would say, extremely fast to ridiculously fast for its size. These are little, what I'd call pocket racers. They do well on dirt track, and as far as bashing goes, I would say this is more suited for track and, you know, like a light bash, but this is more refined, I would say. You do have some protection on the front as far as a bumper goes. They do loop it through, and there is a little bit of Lexan here, permanently mounted. Of course, your rear wing would mount here. As far as you have your XT60 type connector, hard mounted here on the body, so that's nice. This is really nice. So if I didn't mention, the price is about $150 right now, and you get everything you need except for your transmitter batteries. So that being said, is this a worthy buy? Absolutely. This is, you get pretty much everything you'd want. I'm trying to think if I'd want to change anything on this. As far as the battery compartment goes, you're limited. As far as width, height, you're limited unless you move your ESC. So you're kind of stuck with the battery size, but what they give you for a battery is definitely adequate for this size. So the capacity, 3S, parts availability is good. The way they mount into your shock towers, and now the shock towers are aluminum, and the shocks themselves are through bolted to the tops, and that is front and rear. These are, yeah, this is, my little antenna fell off. This is definitely one of the nicer ones I've seen at this price point. I mean, there's some others that Relarlo makes that are definitely, you know, top tier in this price range too. But if you're looking for a Buggy, I don't know, it just looks really, really nice. It's definitely fast out of the box. You can change your pinion size. There's upgradability here. Shocks are really good. Adjustments as far as front and rear is really good. Towing, as far as adjusting your steering, it's just overall really, really good. My gripes, battery compartment size, and maybe you'll see an issue with, if you bash this, links, braking, your front and rear drive shafts where they're on the smaller diameter size, you might have some bending. That being said, no RC car is perfect, and there's give and take. So with that, this is absolutely worth the money. So if you're looking for something that is like a Buggy type class, and you want to go maybe do some track use and some light bashing, this is definitely it. And if you're just beginning and you're limited on budget, this is something you'd be really happy with, and not just for the first week. This is something I've been doing RC cars of decades, and they just keep on getting better and better and less expensive. So yeah, until the next one, guys.
Nice speeds, completely stock. Look at that, wheelies on demand. Ease it into it. Full throttle. Cars always look slower out here than they are, just because, you know, it's a big open area. We'll do another run coming back the other way. Full throttle. The brake modulation's very good. Some other budget RCs definitely had a problem with the brake modulation out of the box. This one is perfect. Nice speeds, completely stock. Great stuff right here. Let's bring it in and see what kind of speeds we got. Nice stuff right there. "48 miles an hour right out of the box." Now real quick, I'm gonna just test the handling a little bit. It's not the best place for testing the handling, but that's the problem with the stock suspension. It can tip over fairly easy. It's soft, it's set up, you know, more for off-road, and look at that, wheelies on demand. And that's with the wheelie bar mod, courtesy of 10 scale RC Performance. Once we lower this thing now, it'll handle a lot better on road. You won't have to worry about tipping it over nearly as much. Ooh, I don't want to beat up that body. It looks so good. But it does have those roof rails on it, which will help protect the body. Great truck. I think this is probably the best truck this size on the market, and there's not much negative to say about it. There we go. The ROG1 does not disappoint.
All right, here's our little RC Buggy here. It's a four-wheel drive. It's got drive shafts on it, and this does run on a 2200 milliamp 3S battery. So this also comes with this remote. Now the remote's pretty good. I do wish it had a little rubber covering on it, but underneath the cover itself, you do have your throttle control. So I do have it at the max. You have your trims, and of course your on-off button. So pretty straightforward, and you have a couple other channels right here. So we're gonna go ahead and give this guy a fire up and see what it does. All right, here we go. Whoa. Oh, this thing has some speed.
and you can tell someone else has already unpackaged it. There's some zip ties that have been cut and stuff. I don't think the car's actually been ran. I think they probably just bought it and kept the remote out of it because they either broke theirs or lost theirs or whatever. But this is what I got. I paid almost 180 bucks, and this is what showed up. Missing parts, missing a remote, and I was looking forward to playing with this weekend on a little track I built over here, and that ain't gonna happen.
My wife's work.